This is the Louie T Network.
We in the lab room. Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. We in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room, the brand spanking new in the lab room. I done got brand new on you. Look at me. Look what I done done. I done got brand new on you. I don't even know y'all no more. I'm so brand new over here. But I thank you for joining me. It has been a very arduous process, very painstakingly tedious process to get to this point. Now, I'm nowhere near finished. This is not a finished product, what you see before you. My microphone isn't where it needs to be, and I can't even get that to work. A lot of technical difficulties have tried to stop me from coming to you. I even had a wardrobe malfunction. That's how bad it's been for me over the last couple of days, but don't fret. Your man is here. Look, they can't stop the show, man. They can't stop me. So I just want to come to you quickly and talk to you today and kind of touch bases with you, let you know, hey, I'm back. I've been itching. I've been itching to get back to you, man. It's been a long time coming, and this should have already happened 2-3 days ago. But because of all of the circumstances, and I've been trying to circumvent them, but they've been coming at me one after another. Look, I'm not going to let them stop the show. The show must go on. And so I'm here to talk to you today about, of course, Thursday night football and all of the things that come with this season getting underway. I talked to you last time we spoke about the second annual In the Lab Room Survivor Pool, and there has been a constant outpouring of support for the Survivor Pool. And I just wanted to let all of you know who have been sending your entry fee to me. I have been receiving them. You will get a confirmation email letting you know that I have received your money and that you are locked in for the second annual In the Lab Room Soul Survivor Pool. For those of you who have sent me your information, you're in it too. Just remember, gotta have the money by next Saturday. That is September 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you who might have missed the last video. So again, thank you for all of your support, and that is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for that to get underway, as I know you can't wait for it to get underway, and also you can't wait for that Thursday night game to get underway. How'd you like that intro? That intro was dope, and the reason it was dope was because of my man King Coop. That's the guy you saw in the intro who was featured. He was the guy dropping that verse and really helping me out immensely with that intro. So big ups to King Coop for his contribution to this intro, and it was a lot of fun making it, as you can tell if you've seen it. And so there's just so much going on right now, a lot to get to. So without any further delay, let's get into a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll jump into our Thursday night showcase right after this. Social media has taken off in ways that I couldn't have imagined, and thus I've taken the liberty to start being more active on social media. So like me on Facebook at In the Lab Room, follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room. You can also +1 me on Google Plus at Louie T. And also, of course, my main hub, subscribe to my channel on YouTube. That's youtube.com/In the Lab Room. These are all ways that I'm looking forward to interacting with you, the viewers, in the upcoming season of the Louie T Network. Now, really, this is a huge game to me. I mean, first game of the season, I know you don't want to put too much stock into the very first game of the season, but I think there is a lot riding on this game. Of course, I'm talking Seattle Seahawks, your Super Bowl defending champion, Seattle Seahawks, getting their Super Bowl rings. That's right. They bling bling in the night. Bling bling. Every time you come around my city, bling bling. But, you know, it's going to be huge for them. Get the rings. You're in front of the home crowd. It's going to be raucous. But Green Bay is a scary team. They got A-Rod. You know how I feel about A-Rod. That's my man. Pull it out. I want to see it tonight too. Ha! Pull out that championship belt. Hopefully he gets the rushing touchdown so we can see that championship belt. But look, I think the Green Bay Packers are one of the few teams that's not afraid to go into Seattle and can come out with a W. A lot of teams mentally think they're tough enough to go into Seattle and come out with one. But most teams are not. I think the Green Bay Packers are the exception to the rule. And you know what type of game this is. This is one of those scene of the crime games. Return to the scene of the crime. Packers were robbed 2 years ago in this very venue. Those goddamn replacement officials blew the game, gave it to the Seahawks. So this is a return to the scene of the crime type of football game. So you know those have a lot of revenge factored into it as well. So don't think the Packers forgot that either. But when it all is said and done, the smoke clears, the dust settles, and we're talking X's and O's, we're talking football. It's Packers, it's Seahawks. It's two of the best that the NFC has to offer, in my opinion. If you've been watching me and watching all of the draft wrap-up series and you've been watching the lab reports, then you know how I feel about both of these ball clubs. To me, they're among the cream of the crop in the NFC, along with a few other teams, New Orleans being one of them, San Francisco being another. But you get my drift here. Look, this is going to be a primetime matchup. Look, Raj in the NFL, you outdone yourself. You've outdone yourself because this is a beaut right here. This is a beauty you've given us on the opening night of the season. And I tell you what, my heart says Green Bay can take this one. But my head said, look, and always remember this. Your head is where you make your money. Your heart makes people look at you funny. And so I know better. Seahawks at home, raucous crowd, Super Bowl rings. Look, until somebody outside of the division, okay, Arizona was the exception to the rule last year. Until someone outside of the division knocks off this Seattle Seahawks team at home, I got to keep going with the Seahawks. They're the Super Bowl defending champions. Until somebody knocks them off of their throne, I got to bow down to the Kings. I got to give this one to the Seattle Seahawks in Week 1, Thursday Night Football. I tell you what, the key to the game is going to be, it's going to be getting pressure on Aaron Rodgers, stopping the run first and foremost. The Packers, and a lot of people think that the Packers are this finesse team and they're going to throw the football. That's the Packers of old. Mike McCarthy has already come out and said, hey, I feel like Eddie Lacy could lead the league in rushing. And I looked Mike McCarthy in his eyes. When he said that, Mike was not playing. Mike was dead serious. Mike really feels like Eddie Lacy can lead the league in rushing. He feels that good about his rushing attack. And Eddie Lacy, he's a beast. So I'm going to tell you what. If the Seattle Seahawks want to win this game, the key to the game is stopping Eddie Lacy in that rushing attack and forcing, and look, this isn't something that I'm going to say often. Not something that I'm going to say often. Because you don't want this. This ain't what you want. But You want to force Aaron Rodgers to beat you. You want to force the Green Bay Packers to be one-dimensional. Make them take to the air, which is the Seahawks' strength. They stop teams from passing the football on them. So if you take away the run, you force them into third and long situations. Look, Aaron Rodgers can pick them up with the best of them. He's a dual threat, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the league. Can scramble, make it happen with his legs. He throws the best football outside of the pocket on the run of any quarterback in the league. And of course, he can beat you from in the pocket. He can slice and dice you from the pocket. However, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, you want to choose Aaron Rodgers over allowing Eddie Lacy in the running game to get off. If the Packers have a two-way go of it, if they're having success running the football, if they're able to turn around, hand it off to Eddie Lacy, and then every so often stick it in his belly, pull it out, play action fake, all of a sudden, guys like Randall Cobb get to stretch the field. Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson are streaming down your field. All of a sudden, you've got problems. Then he can dump it off to Rodgers, the tight end, over the middle of the field. And all of a sudden, you've got problems from all over the field. And Aaron Rodgers, once he gets comfortable, he gets into a groove. He's able to scan the field, survey the field, and find open receivers, go through his reads. You're in a lot of trouble. So if you are the Seattle Seahawks, the key to the game is stopping the run. Once you do that, I think you'll have yourself the opportunity to pin your ears back, put that NASCAR unit on the field, and get after Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers offensive passing attack. If you're the Green Bay Packers, the key early is to withstand that initial jolt of energy that is going to be CenturyLink. This stadium is going to be bananas. It's the first game of the season. Seahawks are getting their rings. It's already a crazy environment as it is. It's going to be amped up times 3 because of the stage that's been set. So if you're the Green Bay Packers, you have to withstand that initial blow. You're going to get a lot of energy. It might be a 3 and out for you if you're on offense first. The crowd might be into it. The Seahawks might score on their first possession. Whatever happens, I mean, the worst thing, you could fumble the opening kickoff. Whatever happens, you've got to be able to withstand that. Take their best shot early and stay close. If you're able to do that, you'll find yourself in a position to strike at some point in this game and give yourself an opportunity. The key for you is get off the field on third downs. Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks on third down at finding receivers. And the Seattle Seahawks do a great job of finding themselves in a very manageable third down situation. And this is an offense that they don't really go outside of the box that often. They keep it very basic. They turn around and hand the ball to their backs, mostly beast mode Marshawn Lynch. He picks up 3 yards on first down. He picks up 4 yards on second down. All of a sudden, it's 3rd and 3. That's third and manageable. That's right down the wheelhouse of Russell Wilson. It's your job as the Packers defense that's been revamped with Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix in that secondary and Julius Peppers up front. It's your job to get them off the field on third downs, whether it's 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, or it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Russell Wilson was magnificent in the Super Bowl last year against the Denver Broncos in 3rd and long situations, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. He picked them up routinely in that Super Bowl game. And it was one of the keys to that game early on that allowed the Seahawks to score on those possessions early on, put the pressure on the Broncos, ultimately end up blowing them out. So if you're the Packers, getting off the field on third downs defensively is going to be key for you to get the football back to your offense, because we know this offense that the Packers have is one of the best in the National Football League. I've said all of that to say this. Heart says Packers, head says Seahawks. Got to go with my head. Seattle Seahawks take this one 30-24. It's going to be a heck of a ball game, and I think this could have ramifications down the line. You heard it here first. The winner of this game could be looking at some potential. And I don't want to discount New Orleans, or I don't want to count out San Francisco, even though I don't think San Francisco weighs into this equation. I think it's more of a 3-team race between Green Bay, New Orleans, and Seattle. But I think this could have ramifications down the line. Winner of this game could be looking at home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. So we'll take a short break. We'll come back and we'll wrap this episode up here in the lab room. Can't get enough of me, Louie T? Or does your heart pump burgundy and gold blood? If so, either way, join me Tuesdays and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Redskins Report. It's all things Redskins. So whether you join me or not, we're going to have a blast talking about the burgundy and gold. It's the Redskins Report here on the Louie T Network. So, it hasn't been quite the episode that I envisioned it to be, but again, we're short on time. I just want to get this out quickly. And so, we're going to wrap this episode up. I do want to mention once again, and this is just a quick reminder, I've already talked about it. Those of you who have entered in the Survivor Pool, I will be responding to you with an email. As early as tomorrow, you should see that. So be on the lookout, check your emails. You should be getting something from me in your inbox, letting you know that I've received either your information or your information and your money, and I'll have a spreadsheet form sent to you before the start of the games on Sunday with all the participants that have sent me their information. Remember, you can send me your money next week, September 13th, that's a Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can send me your money next week, but if you want to play in this Survivor Pool, I need your information. I need your confirmation that you're playing by the 6th. That is also a Saturday. That's this Saturday before all of the rest of the games in the National Football League take place. That's going to be Saturday, September 6th. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Need your information before then if you're going to play in this pool. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've already had some people already send me their information and their money, so looking forward to some of you sending your information in as well. So now it's time for 3 and Out. And the first down, Michael Sam getting another chance in the league. At one point I thought, man, it's unfortunate that this guy isn't going to get an opportunity to play in this league. He played so well. He proved me wrong. I'm not going to act as if I thought he could get it done at this level. I thought he was I'm one of those guys that thought that he just wasn't ready for the show. I said, hey, don't try to throw that co-defensive SEC player of the year on me. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I watched the guy. He compiled a lot of sacks in certain games. It was like 4 games where he might have totaled, 10 sacks in 4 games. I mean, it wasn't spread out over, a 10-game landscape. It was more like, hey, he had a really big game against Florida. He had a really big game against this team and that team. Oh, yeah, and he played really well against this team. But for the rest of the games, he was non-existent, and he was a guy that they would take off the field on certain running downs. And look, all I know is I didn't think he could get it done. Then the combine kind of confirmed things for me, at least I thought. Then he comes into preseason and he plays really well, gets sacks, getting pressure on the quarterback, getting into the backfield, stopping the run as well. He showed his worth in this league and that he can play. Now, it was a numbers game in St. Louis. They've got a talented defensive front and a lot of guys that, frankly, would start for most teams. He just couldn't make the cut in St. Louis. And I believe that to be the case. So now the question was, will he get another chance? And look, I don't know if this is Jerry Jones looking to make a splash, trying to stay relevant. Look, you can never really know fully what the motives are of one Gerald Jones, okay? You never really know what he has up his sleeve. At one point, I was hearing that he was trying to sell practice. You can't sell practice jerseys, man. Stop it. But I will say this. The Dallas Cowboys defensive line isn't the best in the world. And if they have an injury or two, they could be depleted very easily, and he could easily end up on the active roster for this Dallas Cowboys team. They could easily sign him, bring him up. And so I think that was a really good landing spot for Michael Sam. Again, that's a position that is very, very thin on that Cowboys roster. So if any team in the league, and again, there are not a lot of 4-3 defenses in this league left. A lot of teams play 3-4 defensive fronts, which is a bad fit for Michael Sam. So he landed in a really good spot. Let's see if he's able to stick with the Dallas Cowboys. You go to second down. Wes Welker, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, Wes? Now, Wes has denied all allegations that he was popping Molly at the Kentucky Derby. this spring. Look, I don't know what's true and what's not true. I don't know what's factual, what's not factual. Honestly, I could care less. I look at it this way. This was the football gods intervening, okay? Wes Welker just had another concussion. Wes, man, sit down. Where are you going? He was going to try to play, believe it or not. I don't know if he was going to be cleared by the NFL, if the doctors were going to give him the okay, the thumbs up to play. But you don't need to play. You got so many different brain injuries and things of that nature going on. You need to sit down, man. And so this was the football god's way of saying, hey, I'm helping you save yourself from yourself. You sit down for 4 games, take this suspension. It'll give you a chance to heal your brain because as we know, once you get one concussion, you're susceptible to getting more. And Wes Welker has had a boatload of concussions. So I'm glad to see this suspension. Look, I'm not glad to see him get suspended. I'm glad to see him being saved from himself. And whether he did Molly or not, hey, look, I don't know the answers to that. I don't have the answers. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, he just had a concussion in preseason game number 3. He didn't need to play tonight, nor in week 2 or week 3, and week 4 for that matter either. So good for him. I hope he'll be ready to go whenever the Broncos play after that 4-game suspension. I don't know if they have a week 4 or 5 bye or whenever their bye is. If they don't, we'll see Wes Welker in week 5. If they do have a bye prior to his 4-game suspension being up, we'll see him in week number 6. So whatever the case may be, it is what it is. All I have to say is get better, Wes. Take care of yourself, man. Remember, there's always life after football. Don't you forget about that. And finally, third down, the St. Louis Rams and Sam Bradford. You got to be kidding me. Really? And it's crazy because all offseason I talked about, Sam Bradford needing to stay healthy. And I think everybody talked about Sam Bradford needing to stay healthy. And the St. Louis Rams, they knew what was up. They said, hey, we're not extending you, okay? And if you don't prove yourself this year, you won't be back next year. They can't pay him the kind of money. Remember, Sam Bradford was one of the last quarterbacks under that old CBA that saw rookies be able to come in the league and rate teams, especially the quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, Sam Bradford, all of those guys have egregious contracts. Remember Jamarcus Russell? All of those guys got paid big bucks. And so they went back, they sat down at the tables and they said, hey, these young guys can't come in and make more money than these vested veterans that have been in the league, have put in their time, and they're looking to get paid, and you're giving all this money to these rookies. So they came up with a rookie wage scale, essentially. Rookies can't be paid but so much. They're slots. That's why you don't have any holdouts anymore. And so Sam Bradford was one of the last of his kind. And so he had to perform this year. Tears the ACL in week 3 of the preseason versus the Browns, and that is it. Now, I started to come on this program and I had an open letter to the St. Louis Rams. But I realized what the Rams are doing here. Right? They said, hey, look, we're not trading away any picks. We're not going after anybody's quarterback. We're just going to run with what we got. And Shaun Hill is a more than capable backup, and we'll just roll with him. Let me explain something to you. Shaun Hill is exactly that. He's a capable backup. Giving him the keys to your car and saying, hey, you're our starter, totally different set of circumstances. Totally different animal. And I'm here to tell you that you went from a potential 9-7, 8-8 football team to probably a 7-9, 6-10 football team. Now look, your defense is still ferocious. Your running game is still really good. However, and Shaun Hill, look, don't let me make you feel bad about your quarterback situation. Shaun Hill is a solid quarterback in this league. Again, he's a backup for a reason. Has been a backup for a reason. There's deficiencies there. There are some flaws. You're going to find them out in due time. Just know this. He'll give you a chance, just like Kelly Clemens did last year. He'll give you a chance to win football games, but he won't make the plays to put you over the top. And that's where the quarterback position separates teams in this league. You've got the elites and the teams we talk about all the time, the New Englands, the Denvers, the New Orleans, the Seattles, the Green Bays, all of these teams, they have elite quarterbacks. And yes, I mentioned Seattle. Russell Wilson has emerged as a guy that takes care of the football last year, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, takes care of the football. He makes all the plays that his team needs him to make. Look, the kid gets it done. He's a winner. He's an elite quarterback in this league. He's on his way. So that's what separates teams in this league, is having the quarterback that when the game's on the line, being able to get it done. And Sean Hill is not that guy. So if you can protect him with a running game, which I feel like teams are going to try you now, they're going to put 8 in the box. They're going to put 9 in the box. They're going to force Kenny Britt. They're going to force Brian Quick. They're going to force Tavon Austin and all the receivers you have. And remember, Stedman Bailey's going to miss the first 4 games of the season with a suspension. They're going to make your receivers win one-on-one matchups, and they're going to force Sean Hill to make good throws, and they're going to stop the run. So your job is to take care of business, run the football, but more importantly, you got to stop teams on the defensive side of football. You got to force turnovers, and you have to give your offense a chance to win football games, because if teams are scoring points and you get into shootouts, you're done. You are finished. And that is 3 and out. Go ahead and punt that away. That's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. Come back and join me tomorrow. We'll have our Pick'em Weekly. Some of you have already given me your picks. I appreciate that. And I'll let everyone know who has sent me their picks. And I'm looking for more picks from you guys. And also, I will give you my picks and I'll update the Survivor Pool as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Enjoy the football tonight, because you know I will. I'm going to have me a nice cold beverage right next to me, and I'm going to enjoy Seahawks and Packers. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.
In the Lab Room.